My Chicago Bears mock draft 2.0 is out. Let's talk about it.
Bend over to your right.
What the was that?
What's up, Bears fans? People want to hear me talk.
What's going on, Bears fans, and welcome to another episode of the Nicholas Moreano Show. I'm your host, Nicholas Moreano. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment on this episode and all the previous ones that I've done, just to make sure that this YouTube channel continues to grow. And for people who are like, where the hell have I been? Been taking care of some wedding stuff down in North Carolina and actually South Carolina these past couple days. So I just got back in yesterday morning and went right into writing my Bears mock draft 2.0 on the plane, published yesterday afternoon. But it was really nice to just kind of get away for a little bit with my fiance. Did some tastings down there. And that's like the fun part of this experience, as I've like talked to people about it, and obviously with my fiance too. But getting to try different things. What are we gonna have at the Moreano wedding? And I think we did a pretty good job of selecting what we believe is going to be the selection for the wedding. But also, in addition to the tastings that we had, we also got a chance to do our engagement shoot in South Carolina, and beautiful. Everywhere you can just take a picture. If you ever bring your significant other down there, you're probably going to be stopping several times at just random locations in front of people's houses, basically taking pictures, photos. It was a really good time. The weather was great, and it was better than being honestly back in the Chicagoland area where I heard it was snowing and not as great. But that's where I've been, so that's why I couldn't be at House Hall on Tuesday when Caleb Williams, Tremaine Edmonds, Darnell Wright, Jalen Johnson all spoke. So I was taking care of some wedding stuff for the wedding in 2026. But yes, I did want to come on here, and this obviously the weekend, Saturday. I'm definitely not going to get the traction that I normally get throughout the week, but I did come out with my second Bears mock draft. And I did want to talk about it, in case you missed it, which definitely happens. It came out Friday afternoon. You guys are doing stuff, living life, but you can read that at Bear Goggles On, just called Chicago Bears Mock Draft 2.0, More Weapons for Caleb Williams. So that's out there for the people just like to read, and there's some clips in there of the players that I selected. But I wanted to talk about it too. Just again, I was gone I was gone for majority of the week. I just want to get on here and talk some Bears football. So let's get into it. I don't think it's going to be too long of an episode because it is just the mock draft, but I want to get into what I had the Bears doing, why I had the Bears selecting who I selected, and just a preface so you guys understand. Just use mock drafts, simulator. And I only made selections based off the people that were there and available at those respective picks. And so what I did in the articles, I just put the top 5 best available according to mock drafts rankings, and then I chose and then I gave who I selected, essentially. So with that being said, let's just get right into it. We'll do the first 3 picks and then do the final ones after the break. But pick number 1, or round 1, pick 10, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Penn State tight end Tyler Warren. And here are the players that were available. Again, that top 5 ranking, like I was just saying. You had Malachi Starks, the Georgia safety, Jahad Campbell, the linebacker out of Alabama, Armand Membu, offensive tackle out of Missouri, Mike Green, the edge rusher out of Marshall, and Will Johnson, the cornerback out of Michigan. And now, I mean, if it was me selecting the pick, I probably am taking Membu, but I already took him in mock draft 1.0. I wasn't going to do that again. Like, we had to diversify some things and make it a little different. So that's what I did here with Tyler Warren. And let's start with just the positives here, guys. I know it's not a this is a luxury pick. I would characterize this as a luxury pick because it is a tight end, not necessarily a position that you need right now when you do have Cole Kmet on the roster, right? But think of all the positives this creates for Caleb Williams, for Ben Johnson's entire offense. You get a 6'6" playmaker added to your tight end room, which you already have a guy in that size with Cole Kmet, someone that is a willing blocker, and I think still has more upside as a blocker. I put a clip in here where he's blocking some poor defender out of the freaking end zone. And I love that. And he loves to do that. So I love that mentality. And then I also so people who are listening or watching me, I do have this thing called The Beast from Dane Brugler on from the Athletic up, and just this version of it is fantastic. Beautiful. Love this the interactive kind of model it has, just the different formats. You also can download the PDF version, but he gives the strengths, weaknesses. I love this one where is it? He has had more one-handed grabs than drops on 2024 film. Like, come on now. Like, that's you love that. And you see that ability to make contested catches in the middle of the field. I think also too, creativity probably comes to mind when you're looking through the lens of Ben Johnson, looking at a guy like Tyler Warren. I mean, the dude was lined up in the backfield. He was throwing passes. Obviously, he can run the seam routes, run in the middle of the field, be a mismatch for those linebackers, even safeties, given his size and speed. But I just think there's a lot of options if you're Ben Johnson, what you can do, what he's already done with a guy like Sam Laporta. Tyler Warren's going to give this Bears offense more flexibility. I think just more creativity too, and what you can do on any given play, whether you're in 12 personnel with Cole Commander on the field or if he's just the only tight end out there. Like, he is a weapon. For me, though, and like I've already expressed my opinions on Tyler Warren. I don't think I would, if like this was me selecting, I don't think I'm picking Warren. I would have gone Membo like I did in my first Bears mock draft. But you can't deny what the possibilities that he can create for this Bears offense. And that's why ultimately this is still a pick that if it's made, I can see how Brian Poles, Ben Johnson, Ian Cunningham got there. Just probably wouldn't be the pick for me. But for the sake of making mock drafts and providing different scenarios, because that's really what it's about. And like I said, that's who was best available to me. That's who I went with. Went with Tyler Warren, starting it off to give Caleb Williams just another weapon in that offense as they head into year one with Ben Johnson. All right, let's get into number 2 here, or round 2, pick 39 for the Chicago Bears, and this is the pick from the Panthers. So the trade will officially be complete after this one, and man, I mean, when you just think about everything the Bears got with that pick, it's insane when you really think about it, because the Bears made out crazy, and now they're going to finish it right here with my second selection in mock draft 2.0. So round 2, pick 39, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Derek Harmon, the interior defensive lineman out of Oregon. And man, there's so much, guys, there's so much to like with this pick. And I mean, you're looking at versatility on the defensive line, just looking at PFF and where he lined up last season in 2024, you guys, 353 of those snaps were in the B gap, spent 188 snaps over the tackle, 28 snaps in the A gap, and then 21 snaps outside the tackle. So you have this versatility with Derek Harmon. And in 2024, you guys, I mean, had his breakout season. He was in Michigan State for 3 years. Redshirt his first year, really became a full-time starter in 2023, but then he transferred in 2024 to Michigan, or to Oregon. 14 games played, 45 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 3 passes defended. This is a guy, too, when you're looking at wanting to stop the run, man, I just really like how Derek Harmon plays the position. He's stout, man. Like he is a unit when you're trying, whether it's an offense trying to double team him, like he is providing resistance, but also like if it's a mano y mano type of deal there, like I like Derek Harmon's chances. And I like his ability to not only hold up his gap, hold up the block, but shed that and make one of those 10.5 tackles for loss in the backfield like he did in 2024. Like this was also just a no-brainer for me too. Uh, for the players that were available at the time when I was doing the mock draft simulator at pick 39, you had Luther Burden, the wide receiver out of Missouri, Kevin Winston Jr., the safety out of Penn State, get to him in a little bit, Trey Amos, the cornerback out of Mississippi, Benjamin Morrison, cornerback out of Notre Dame, and TJ Sanders, the interior defensive lineman out of South Carolina. Yeah, to me, again, it was a no-brainer. It really was a no-brainer to pick somebody like this, who, like I said, can play that 3 tech, can play the nose. Shoot, you're lining him up outside at times. And you're able to do that because not only does he have the strength to play inside, but he has that quickness off the line of scrimmage. He does. And I love that ability with him. So again, it was a no-brainer pick, and I just love the flexibility this is going to give a guy like Dennis Allen as he enters his first year with the Bears defense coordinator. If you're wondering, like, okay, this guy's so great, one, he probably won't even be here at pick 39, if we're being completely honest, but he was in the mock draft, so I took him. But here are just some weaknesses that Dane Brugler has on Harmon in the Beast. You got to go check this out. In bullet point list. Good looking frame, but has some sloppy weight on body. Below average finisher and must become a better tackler in the backfield. Yes, let's get to that really quick because when I was just watching games from him yesterday and the past 2 days, really, it was like, man, he makes this move, get in the backfield. What are we doing? Why are we're right there, but we're not finishing the play. And that was a little frustrating to see, but I think as you're just watching it, evaluating what he's doing, it's like he's there though. That is half the battle. Now you gotta finish the move. So that was definitely a fair criticism. Throws a kitchen sink at blockers and still learning how to efficiently streamline attack. Relies more on quickness than block reads when attacking the run. More consistent pad level will improve the anchor. Too many undisciplined penalties on 2024 tape. Roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness, hands in the face. And arrived at Michigan State at 350-pound freshman. Conditioning will be key. Okay, all fair criticisms, but the upside too. Uh, man, hell of a player. And actually, The Athletic, I don't know if they just recently released this. Probably it has to be somewhat recent, but it was Dane Brugler, Robert Mays. They were talking about the defensive lineman. Derek Harmon comes up on there. Great episode, great listen after you listen to this show. You can go listen to that. All right, guys, let's get to my second round draft pick. And this one was I was ecstatic to make this pick. Let's just say that. But this is round 2, pick 41. I have the Chicago Bears selecting Travion Henderson, the running back out of Ohio State. Man, you know what? I'm going to start here when talking about Henderson. When this guy blocks, oh my goodness. It is so much fun to watch him level defenders. And this is just not like secondary guys. I believe the clip I put in my the clip I put in my article, he lays the wood on a defensive lineman here. I want to make sure this doesn't play. Yeah. I'm watching. Jeez, you guys, insane rep there where the defensive lineman number 92, I don't know if he just didn't see the scouting report on Henderson. I don't know what it was, but the dude laid him out. And that immediately, and look, yesterday, flying back, kind of jet lagged a little bit, a little tired, had to get up really early. And that just woke me up. That woke me up seeing that type of effort, that physicality. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we're putting Travion Henderson in the mock draft if he's there at pick 41. And honestly, with the, I think recently too, not even recently, but there's just a lot of buzz about him, a lot of buzz. And I saw Daniel Jeremiah post this not too long ago, and I hyperlinked in the article that I wrote. He might be gone at round one. He might be. And yeah, 41. I probably should have maybe switched Harmon and Henderson right now. I don't know. It worked out for me in this mock, but damn, he is again the physicality shows up there in the blocking. Oh yeah, he also what averaged 7.1 yards per carry on 144 attempts for 1,016 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's explosive. When you see him get into the second level, not only is he able to like make a man miss, but he can run away from guys. And that's different from Junkins, right? And how just the type of running side, like he's a more explosive guy. The stats, not only do the stats show it, but you just watch the two, they're just different. And I think Travion Henderson, listed at 5'10, 202 in the beast, like he could still, like, I didn't have much concern about him running between the tackles. Like you see the good pace with his feet. He's reading things, letting things open up, and then he bursts. I love that. I love that. And then the routes that he's running too, you're not just seeing these flares, these little dump offs, the screens, which he did obviously catch, but like there's some wheel routes down the middle of the field or down the field, down the sideline, catching them. I just got more and more excited about Travion Henderson the more I watched him and the way I was able to implement him in this mock. So within the first three picks, top 50, you get a tight end, a pass catching dual threat tight end, and you get Travion Henderson. Caleb Williams now has a lot more to work with than he did prior to day one and day two of the draft. So I really like that. And I really, really was excited that Henderson could be there. Before I get to my first break, just kind of want to check out the comments here. Hey, Bears Junkie 55, Hall of Fame. Good morning, Nick. Good morning, chat. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for hanging out on this Saturday morning of all days. But like I said, I need to get on here. I wanted to just discuss this mock to kind of share what I was seeing and what really who was available. Actually, I believe no, oh no, I didn't say really quickly who was available at pick 41 before I actually get into the break. The other players available at pick 41 at the time I made the selection for Travion Henderson, according to mock drafts rankings, you had Jaden Higgins, the wide receiver out of Iowa State, sorry. Landon Jackson, the edge rusher out of Arkansas. Jack Beck, the wide receiver out of TCU. Is it Betch or Beck? I think it's Beck. I should know. I was at the Senior Bowl. Maxwell Hairston, the cornerback out of Kentucky, and then Shavon Revel, cornerback out of East Carolina. That's a name that I honestly haven't really seen. But those were the guys available. It was a no-brainer for Travion Henderson. Bears Junkie, I get it. Really disagree with that first pick. If we were trying to win now, they wouldn't pick a tight end in the first round because historically it takes a long time to develop. I agree, man. I agree. I kind of explained why that pick. Again, for me, that's not the pick I'm honestly going to make for Tyler Warren. Great football player, can help you in a lot of different ways. Armand Membu was also there. Maybe I would even consider one of the other tackles, to be completely honest. But I kind of explained that in the top. And I also have a whole video on, Tyler Warren. Should the Bears even consider that? But that was the move for this mock. And they'll definitely, there's a couple more weeks. There's 2 more weeks before the NFL draft. So there'll be 2 more that I'll have different picks, just different scenarios that the Bears can go with. All right, guys. Let's take that first break really quickly. We got through the first 3 picks of my mock draft 2.0. So want to make sure we get to the rest of them here. And hopefully, there's some feedback about wanting to add graphics. Quickly made this up. Hopefully it works for the people who are watching this live stream. For the people listening, you don't care because it doesn't really apply to you, but I have graphics. So if you want to check out the YouTube version, please feel free to do so. It's going to help me out. Give that, even if you're a audio listener, go give the YouTube video a like, share, a comment. Helps the algorithm. however the hell YouTube works. It all helps though. But do you want to get to our first sponsor here? And that is the greats, Windy City Sports Cards, everyone. At Windy City Sports Cards, they specialize in buying and selling all things related to Chicago sports. Whether you're a diehard fan of the Bears, Bulls, Cubs, White Sox, or Blackhawks, they've got you covered with an extensive selection of sports memorabilia and collectibles. In addition to their Chicago-focused items, everybody, and they also offer a vast collection of sports trading cards and memorabilia from your favorite teams and players. Visit their online store to find exactly what you're looking for to complete your collection or to discover a new favorite. You can check them out at 312windycitysports.com. That's 312windycitysports.com. And now, everybody, I got to tell, not a new sponsor, but definitely someone that has been making its rounds here. And now you should know about if you're a listener, watcher of the Nicholas Moreano Show. And that is Napleton Cadillac of Libertyville, the one-stop shop for all your needs, everybody. And what I mean by that, sales, service, parts, body shop, it's all available at Napleton Cadillac of Libertyville, located on 1050 South Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville, Illinois. The team prides themselves on their service, winning Dealership of the Year twice. So check out their website at NapletonCadillacLibertyville.com to see all their new and pre-owned vehicles, including the new all EV Cadillac Lyric. Amazing vehicle. You got to just check it out. And you can also subscribe to their YouTube channel to view more of their vehicles, which you can find in the description below. Napleton Cadillac of Libertyville, your one-stop shop for all your needs. All right, everybody, this is the Nicholas Moreano Show. I'm your host, Nicholas Moreano. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment on this channel. Help me grow here and share it with a Bears fan. Come on, the draft's almost here. We need this to keep going. Like, the goal is definitely, I mean, obviously it's going to be 10,000 is going to be the first milestone, but why are we stopping there? Can't stop there in terms of growing this channel. But now we're going to continue growing this Bears football team. And now we're going into round 3, pick 72. And I have the Chicago Bears selecting. Oh my goodness, that's not it. You guys saw the wrong one. Hopefully I got the right. Oh no, wait, was that right? No, that's terrible, Nick. I just messed up the whole show. Maybe I don't even have the graphic there. Maybe I completely forgot. Oh no, I'm going to literally see. This is why I should check these things, because it's right here. Kevin Winston Jr., the safety out of Penn State. I don't know why that got out of order. Now that, well, there's definitely going to be some hiccups here as I continue to go forward, because the font is so tiny that I can't see the draft picks. But we're in round 3, pick 72, Kevin Winston Jr., the safety out of Penn State. Now, here are the players that were available when I made this selection. You had, this is, I think this is a name to maybe keep an eye on when you're thinking about the linebacker room, but I still don't see the Bears. I don't know. Carson Schlesinger, linebacker of UCLA. I'm saying that fast. Andrew Makuba, safety out of Texas. As people who have read or listened to the show, that's my draft crush right now. I also took him in mock draft 1.0. Not going to take him here again. You have Kyler Williams, a wide receiver out of Washington State. Tate Ratledge, the guard out of Georgia, and then Jalen Royals, wide receiver out of Utah State. Some good names there. Some really good names in terms of what you can get at round 3, pick 72. But I just thought it was not a no-brainer because, again, like I said, there were some good options there as to who, and I'm sorry, I said Kyle Williams, the wide receiver out of Washington State. But there's some really good names there. But when I was, I hadn't really watched too much of Kevin Winston Jr. And then when I started watching, I'm like, I see where the hype is around this guy. When you're talking about, I think, 2023 tape, because he was living into 2 games in 2024 with the ACL injury that, really sidelined him for a majority of the season. But when you're looking at Kevin Winston Jr., that 2023 season, you guys, I mean, phenomenal. 13 games played, 61 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss. 6 passes defended, and had the 1 interception. What I'm seeing when I'm watching him, what first stands out is just his tackling ability. Regardless of the single high safety in the box, playing in the slot, which he did at times, like he's making quality tackles at depth and making secure tackles. Only 2 missed tackles in his entire collegiate career, 2 coming last year in only the 2 games that he played. But when you're looking at him, I think you just know what you're getting. And you're getting a physical player who can also, I think, really still has more to grow in terms of like reading coverages. But when you saw him break on the ball, like he not only was the closing speed there, but the ability to get that hand on a pass, the 6 pass defended in 2023. Like there's so much to like about him. And I honestly, when I was looking at him, like, is this more of the strong safety? Is this more of the free safety? He's got that flexibility to really do both, to be completely honest, because his size being what 6'2", 213 pounds. Yeah, he's definitely big enough to play in the box. But he also has that range and quickness, um, I believe, to still play, the free and 4.5, 140, not what blazing fast by any means, but I think he still has once he still learns the position of how to recognize offenses and where he needs to be, then I don't think that speed is going to be an issue whatsoever. But I just think that he does provide flexibility there. And when you think about the Bears, and I would say the uncertainty with the safety position moving forward, both guys that you have in Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, this is their last year under contract. Like I don't know what's going to end up happening with those 2 guys, or if Jaquan's going to be able to stay healthy. I hope he does because he's a phenomenal football player when he's out there. But I think safety is definitely going to be something that the Bears look to address for the future, just because of the circumstance that I just laid out with the 2 guys before that. But I liked what I saw from 2023. The biggest issue I think is going to be how teams view that knee, but also maybe the lack of turnover production. He did have the 1 interception in 2023 and just the 1 forced fumble in 2024. That's the turnovers that he's created since he was at Penn State in 2022. So it probably gets more. You would hope it becomes more consistent at the NFL level if he's available. When he's out there, not due to injuries or anything like that. But good football player, physical football player, and like I said, I'm like free. Is he gonna be strong? Like flexibility. I love that with that pick. I did see this comment right here. Why are you hung up on Memba when he supposedly doesn't have the measurements? I don't think everything's about measurements. That's why. Is he not your ideal height at the tackle position? No, not the ideal height. But does that mean that he can't play the position? I mean, I didn't see that on film. And obviously, it's different at the NFL level. But when you're looking at, again, measurements aren't everything. If you're looking at, I don't know, even the measurements for the Andrew Makuba, the safety out of Texas, he doesn't have the physical measurements that you like, but he's a damn good football player. It's like it's not everything. That's why. But if it ends up where the Bears just don't want to select him because of those measurements, I can't fault them for that. Maybe if they have that certain criteria that they need to meet, doesn't meet him, then he won't be the pick. But no, I like Membu and what and like his obviously his potential, because if you're drafting him, you're not drafting him to play right tackle. You would make that selection with the vision that he can move over to the left side, be your left tackle of the future, and really translate their not effortlessly, because I don't think it's gonna be effortless, but it's gonna be something that you need to be confident that he can do if you're making that pick. All right, let's get to our next pick here, and let's hope that everything that I put in here is right where it needs to be, because if it's not, I'm going to be kind of pissed about it, but we'll see. I don't even think this is the right one here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Round 5, pick 148. We're going to Kansas to select offensive tackle Logan Brown here. Here's a guy that when I was again, here's who was available to me at the time of this selection. So you had RJ Mickens, the safety out of Clemson, Trevor Etienne, who I do like, running back out of Georgia, Noel Williams, cornerback out of California, University of Cal, Seth McLaughlin, the center out of Ohio State, and Riley Leonard was the next like top available player, quarterback out of Notre Dame. Not selecting a safety, just took a safety. Not, maybe honestly, could I have taken a corner here? Probably, yeah, I could have. If you're not, maybe you're still wondering about Tyreek Stevenson, things like that, but nothing to push him for his starting spot. I wouldn't think. I already have a running back. Center, I mean, you just did sign Drew Dahlman. I don't know if I'm going there, but this just seemed the best. Again, another fit for what I was looking to get out of this draft. And now, Logan Brown. Recency bias for me, too. I was at the Senior Bowl. I got to see some of these players up close and personal, and I liked what I saw out of Logan Brown after not knowing really much about him prior to heading to Mobile, Alabama. But what I saw was a big man at 6'6", 309 pounds, moving well in space, competing against some of the best competition, in college football. And that stood out to me. I know he's one of my standouts for one of the days that I was down there, but in 11 games, 11 games, didn't allow a single sack or quarterback hit and gave up just 6 total pressures. As I take some of my pre-workout here. But so obviously the production or lack of production defensive players were getting against him was great to see. Now the downside here, Logan Brown, he played right tackle. Only exclusively really right tackle. Outside of 57 snaps at left tackle in 2022 when he was in Wisconsin, exclusively a right tackle there. So 752 snaps were at that right tackle position. Also, only had 14 career starts despite enrolling in college, you guys. I had to make sure I had this right. In 2019, and he'll be 24 on April 17th. So you're getting an older prospect and somebody that, hasn't had as much starts as you definitely would like. But if you're looking, so I was also thinking when I was factoring this pick in, it's like, yeah, he's older. He's older. He kind of, I don't know. Maybe the Bears would. He would be like a swing tackle position. But if you're looking to get this guy maybe on the field early on, like maybe it helps being a little bit older and seeing, what he's kind of experienced throughout college to get him out there as a swing tackle position if he's competing for that. So I was kind of factoring that in here, but I also just liked what he could do, like as a, obviously as a tackle and what I saw up close and personal. So those are all the factors I was considering as I'm making this pick, because it's going to be for some teams like the age, not going to have it. The start, not the quality of starts, doesn't really have it. And then also, playing the single side there, not knowing if he can translate to the left. Like that can be a thing that maybe just takes out a lot of teams, maybe including the Bears. But I did just like how he played the game. There was a physical presence to him. I remember one of the plays in Mobile where he pulled, and I mean, not only was he, I don't think it was a live period yet in the Senior Bowl week early on, but pulled, was right there at second level and was just in a position to make a block. Like that's an athletic move. That's what you'd like to see, learning this new playbook that you get, or whatever the capacity is for that time in Mobile, but executed his position perfectly. And then as I kept watching more, like, I like him. There's just some obvious age, quality of starts, and the exclusivity of where he plays kind of is a downer. But Logan Brown, round 5, pick 1 at 48 there for the Chicago Bears. All right, guys, let's see if I get this right. I don't know if I am, because I don't even know if I have the right picks here. But maybe I'd even include, did I write Ty Robinson? Oh, did I say his name already? Damn, there he is. Boom. I don't know why I went out of order, but let's go to now round 7, pick 233. This from the Bengals here. Ty Robinson, the defensive lineman out of Nebraska. I'm going to start by this. He will not be here. He will not be here in round 7. No way is he going to be here. But He was in my mock draft, so I took Ty Robinson. This is another Senior Bowl player that impressed me while I was down there. Again, didn't know about Ty Robinson at that time, but after leaving the Senior Bowl, I'm like, damn. He's not only is he strong and powerful, but also another guy that provides a lot of versatility. Again, according to Pro Football Focus, finished with 303 snaps in the B gap, 130 over the tackle, 102 outside the tackle, and 61 in the A gap. With a guy that has the just the frame that he does and the power that he can play with, Ty Robinson, 6'5", 288 pounds, it just provides a lot of options for a defensive coordinator. If you're Dennis Allen, like if again, he obviously does what he needs to do in preseason training camp and can earn his way into the mix here. But in the seventh rounder, that's not necessarily guaranteed, but he won't be in the seventh round, is what I'm saying. He's probably actually, let's go to the beast real quick, because I think Dane Brugler has him projected. We need to go to the big board to see exactly where he's left. But he's defensive tackle number 12. Not ranked in the top 100, but probably going to be that third or fourth round. Yeah, great. Third or fourth round. Got him here at the seventh. Well, I don't know what PFF has against Ty Robinson, but he ain't going to be in the seventh. But he is just somebody that I think can, because of his power, can play inside. But because of I like the quickness off the snap too. He can be on the outside as well. Going to be that run defender in addition to what he can provide as a pass rusher. But in 2024, 6 sacks, 11 quarterback hits, 25 hurries, and 4 batted passes. And that would be a steal for where I got him. But if the Bears wanted to probably get Ty Robinson, it's probably going to have to be early day 3, not late in the 7th round. Because if you get that, like, he not only is he making this team, he's finding his way onto the football field. That's what I really like about Ty Robinson, what he showed me at the Senior Bowl, and then just some of the clips I've seen of him when he's rushing the quarterback, but splitting double teams. Again, that strength comes to mind. Swim move too, man. Just a rep that he had against Wisconsin over the center. Swims, gets in the backfield, hits the quarterback. Lot to like about Ty Robinson, what he can do for the Chicago Bears if he is available. And now, guys, let's get to this last pick here. Round 7, pick 240. And I believe I have this queued up right here. The Chicago Bears selecting wide receiver out of Arkansas, Andrew Armstrong. Now, in my first mock draft, I also had the Bears selecting a wide receiver in the 7th round, but it was the Georgia wide receiver. I'm blanking on his name, but small speedster. Andrew Armstrong is like the polar opposite of that. 6'3", 204 pounds. A physical presence at the wide receiver position. Also, when I was watching him, just loves to block. Like, at that size, and when you're not the most polished route runner, you got to show me some other things. And blocking and showing that effort in blocking, that was definitely on there when watching Andrew Armstrong. So I really love that about his game. And if you're wondering, like, what did he do? He just led the SEC in receiving yards with 1,140, 78 receptions, 1 touchdown, though. One of the knocks that, I have on him, and so does probably everybody that's seen Andrew Armstrong. But I like, again, that I wanted to give the Bears, too, just a bigger body receiver. I know they've been looking into a lot of these speedster, smaller type of guys, but they actually did meet virtually with Andrew Armstrong at Arkansas's Pro Day. So maybe if you're looking at some diversity in that wide receiver room, he could provide that. But like I said, he's not the greatest route runner. But I did notice, like, even on some curl routes, some stop routes where he's catching the ball and then quickly secures catch and goes upfield. Like, I did like that. That quick burst explosion just to kind of turn the corner, get some yards after the catch, and make some bigger plays for his team. He is an older prospect and actually will be 25 by the time the season begins, but he's going to have to be a guy that obviously shows some things on special teams, be a gunner, someone that is contributing there to even be in consideration of making this football team. But that's the mock draft, everybody. Mock draft 2.0. And just in case for people tuned in at this point in the show, maybe early on, left, came back, had some breakfast, had a coffee. I get it. Round one, we'll recap the mock draft real quick. Mock draft 2.0. Round one, pick 10, Penn State tight end Tyler Warren. Then with round two, pick 39, you have Derek Harmon, the defensive lineman out of Oregon. Then round two, pick 41, Travion Henderson, running back out of Ohio State. Round three, pick 72, Kevin Winston Jr., safety, Penn State. Round five, pick 148, Logan Brown, offensive tackle out of Kansas. Round seven, pick 233, Ty Robinson, defensive lineman out of Nebraska. Then the man we just talked about in round seven, pick 240, Andrew Armstrong, wide receiver out of Arkansas. That's mock draft 2.0, everybody. And again, I'm doing these for different scenarios, just kind of for my own sake to learn about more players, but also just to present the endless possibilities that the Bears can go with as they're looking to, address some needs in the upcoming 2025 draft, which is so close now. Actually, we're 12 days away, right? 12 days away from night one of the draft. Really cannot wait for that. And honestly, I love doing mock drafts, but I also at the same time, I do want to just talk about the players that the Bears have. You know what I'm saying? So really looking forward to that. Before I close out, want to make sure everybody, actually, let me make sure I take out Andrew Armstrong. Not that I don't like Andrew Armstrong, but his time is come and gone. But hey, if you're looking for a new protein drink, you got to check out Protein 2.0. Not only is it going to give you 20 grams of protein, everybody, but if you want to get your 350 milligrams of electrolytes, this is going to be the drink for you. Also, it just tastes great. I have right here orange mango. Phenomenal flavor. I have a bunch of other ones that you can check out, but Protein 2.0, if you're someone that doesn't like going in store and shopping, you can get them on Amazon. They're available at probably a store near you. So check out Protein 2.0, especially if you're someone that doesn't like the traditional type of, whey protein, thick kind of shakes, not your thing. This is going to be such a different alternative for you that just honestly tastes amazing. So check out Protein 2.0, 20 grams of protein, 350 milligrams of your electrolytes. So wanted to close it out with that. But everybody, thank you for tuning in on your Saturday morning. I know it's not your traditional time to be on a podcast or, listening to maybe Bears football talk, but I do appreciate everyone that tuned in to hang out with me. That's going to do it for Mock Draft 2.0 and this edition of the Nicholas Moreano Show. I'll definitely be, going live throughout the week. There will be some media availability at House Hall next week. So tune in for that and keep your eyes and schedule open for everything that comes out of House Hall next week. But the draft's almost here. You're going to want to tune into the Nicholas Moreano Show to make sure you're up to date with all your Bears coverage. But make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment on this show. What picks did you hate? Which one did you like? Let me know in the comments. And then, there'll be another mock draft next week to kind of discuss future picks that I have for the Chicago Bears. But that's going to do it for this episode, everyone. Have a great weekend. Enjoy time with family. And just, maybe just do whatever that you've been putting off. I had a great time just being away from, honestly, a lot of this, but it was good to be back with you guys. So everyone, have a great weekend. I will see you next week. But until then, adios, Bears fans.
Bend over to your right.
What the was that?
What's up, Bears fans? People want to hear me talk.